let's talk about a show with aliens and ghosts. And somehow the weirdest thing about this is golden balls. Yeah, this is a weird series. Completely weird in the best way. Weird in a fun way. Weird in a, I think this is amazing. Because this is the only series, because you get sci-fi series, you get fantasy series, we have like, here's aliens, here's robots, you have the Doctor Who's of the world with all their sci-fis and all this technology and science explains anything, you get aliens, that's horror. Again, sci-fi, you get sci-fi horror, you get science fiction this, you get alien shows, all of which are having, also you got some shows that have things look like magic, but are just really futuristic technology. But this is, and then you also, on the other side, because I want to do this as well, have magic shows, you have fantasy shows, you have shows where technology doesn't exist and people basically teleport around the world and have amazing this and amazing that. And all of that exists in one space. And I also love that as well. Overall, I think all of it is amazing. But the one thing that I think that I like about it is simple. Is overall, one thing that I think I really like is that you have it together. And you're getting a bit of that with the new Doctor Who, but besides that, you don't have a lot of series that has, you have like yokai spirits, because you don't have like basic fantasy, whereas like somewhat fantasy, where you have like somewhat ghost, or like the occasional spell exists, or you have this one thing. And you don't have aliens as in, by the way, aliens might exist, or you have alien technology, or it's like it's humans, but basically we're on a different planet, and we're doing that. We don't have alien adjacent. We have yokai, which I don't know much about, actually. I know yokai supposedly is an actual thing, but not actual, like, oh, I don't believe yokais ever exist. But there are like stories about actual yokais in our world that supposedly exist. I don't know too much about yokai, or if I'm mispronouncing it. Sorry if I am. But they are sort of like sort of a thing that sort of like yokai have this sort of like have spirits. They're like big news, and like fully, I think a lot of shows have talked about it. So they're like really big and really a lot is in there, and that has a lot. Like yokai have this sort of like, they are spiritual, they are supernatural, they are like that sort of thing. They have that sort of presence to them. And with aliens, you straight up have beings being like, yep, I'm aliens. And they also have a thing where we talk about like, oh yeah, the reason why we have cows so much, because cow's blood and cow's milk is the same thing as their blood, which is hilarious. Also, if that actually happens, if aliens exist, I would fully be like, if I know aliens exist and cow's milk is their blood, I'd be like, well, why don't I? And then it's like, here's all the milk I can get. Like, breaking news, a bunch of pharmacists, a bunch of like legitimately, if I have aliens being like, I wouldn't steal them, but I'd be like, yeah, this is all the milk I can get. I want 10 times, I want the rarest thing you have, and then I'd be like, sell that to the government. Again, it'll be weird, but again, that's a lot of things in the show are really fun and really interesting, and I love it. It sometimes gets a bit weird. Like I said, the weirdest thing in this show is golden balls, which out of context doesn't mean anything. But when you put it in context, it's confusing and like what? So yeah. Okay. So usually I'll sometimes go, okay, this is how I hear about the series. Here's what I did. And the reason why I didn't on this one is because there's a slight spoiler near the beginning. I don't know if it's in the description, but because I'm like, I want to play it safe and I don't know if it's in counts as spoilers. The whole thing was like, okay, I feel a bit stunted because if I'm correct, the same guy that does this also does muscle magic. which is another series. He, I think, writes for both, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I've heard something like that. But the writer was getting a bit of a writer block, the person who wrote this. I was like, okay, why don't we just beep it? Who cares? Just write stuff down and see what we can make out of it. And then, like, the whole story revolves around this guy losing his balls. Again, if you look at me like I'm crazy, I wouldn't say that you are wrong. This is a weird show where that is a main focus. You're also getting, like, these, like, beings, like, because that are getting superpowered off this. Like, he has powers because of, like, from another person, and so does she, and it's really interesting because of that. I love it. It's so weird. It's so interesting. I don't know if there's more episodes. It feels like if there's more episodes, and sometimes I've done this where it's like, oh yeah, there's more episodes. I'm an idiot. I've checked. It seems like only 12 for season 1. I don't know. Maybe I am an idiot. Anyway, if that's the case, I might, like, catch up being like season 1, but these 2 episodes and what I thought about those, and do a shorter one. I don't know, I'm still going to do this anyway because I love this. If I have an excuse to talk more about it, yeah, I will use it. I like it, it's amazing, it's awesome. It's weird in that way. But the one thing I have to point out, if you look here, boom, boom, the designs are amazing and so cool. And that's good about it. The designs are amazing. Yeah. Someone's pointing out that I sometimes ramble and sometimes sound like, yeah. Because I'm like, this is... I like talking about shows, but I also don't write a script. Wow, can you tell that I don't write a script of these things? But yeah, it's one of the things that I like to do, because sometimes if someone comes in to comment when I'm doing it live, I can bring it up. And yes, I brought this live thing twice, because I feel like it's interesting to point out that if you want to come and talk to me live, I'll carry on talking about it after the review's over. But again, moving on to this series, I just think it's really good. I like it, I find it entertaining, and I find it enjoyable. So yeah, I would find it interesting. And I am excited for another season. There's a whole thing about it. There's so many... I'm not going to put another timestamp. I got cut off because the thing says 10% left because I'm running out of battery of both devices. So I'm going to upload this and then get my charges in between the 2 streams, because I'm doing another stream, which if you want to know what I'm reviewing for that one, come to my stream if you want to. I'll be doing a couple of TikToks. You can talk if you want to, and I'll be reviewing Spider-Man Marvels. Anyway, that's one point for this. But yeah, I think this is really enjoyable, really entertaining, and I love this. This series is just one of the things that I think is really unique. Definitely with the writing. Definitely. There's some things I'm like, what the is this? Like a mannequin that comes to life. Like, doing one of the medical mannequins, like half and half mannequins, like flesh on one side, skin on the other. That comes to life. That's hilarious. I think it's really fun and really interesting. And it's one of the shows that I'm like, yes, I want more. Give me more. Please, can I have more? Thank you. So yeah, I 100% recommend for you to watch. It's really enjoyable and really good. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, and I hope you watch. It's really fun. So yeah, like I said, this is a weird show, and I recommend. It is a bit weird, so if you aren't about it, it's the other thing about it, will be honest. It is a bit weird and a bit kind of confusing. Not in a story-wise, it is always focused into what it wants. But it is kind of a show that's a bit weird in that sort of way. So if you want a more down to earth grounded show, fair. But if you're fine with a bit of weirdness, watch it. It is absolutely 100% worth to watch. So yeah. So I hope you enjoy, I hope you like the video, I hope you comment. Maybe you can come back and see my live and watch, because it's going to be another review. But I hope you enjoy, and good night.